Hello everyone, and welcome to my new channel, Ashita no Anime. For those of you who don't speak Japanese, Ashita no Anime translates to Tomorrow's Anime. Before cutting straight to reviewing anime, I want to give a little background of my credentials as an anime critic, as well as define a few genres of anime that I find relevant for the viewer. Lastly, I'll close with the rating system that I'm going to be using to review the anime. First, my credentials as an anime critic. I first started watching anime seriously in the fall of 2004. That's when I first found out what anime really was. I'd seen Dragon Ball Z and Sailor Moon when I was younger, but let's just say that I'm glad I didn't know those were anime when I first saw them. But technically the first anime I watched and enjoyed was Escaflowne. And yes, it was the really bad Fox Kids edits. But it interested me enough to buy the DVDs and watch the full version. While in university, I spent 1 year as a public relations officer for the University Anime Club, and after that I spent 2 years as the Anime Club president. So I think that's a pretty darn good qualification to have been the president of an anime club. Now, I use myanimelist.net to track my anime viewing. It's a great resource for anyone interested in following their own anime history and for keeping up with friends on their anime viewing. I highly recommend this site. According to myanimelist.net, I've watched a total of 273 TV series, 62 OVAs, 56 movies, and 39 special episodes, coming out to a grand total of 12,130 episodes of total watch time, which comes to a total actual time of 208 days. Now, considering that I've been watching anime for 7 years now, that means that I've spent about 1 of those waking years watching anime. If you doubt my qualifications after that, I don't know what else I can do to convince you. Next, I'll explain the genres that I typically attribute to anime. First up is comedy. This is pretty straightforward. If the anime's intention is to make the viewer laugh, tell jokes, or just have fun, it's a comedy. Notable comedies that I've enjoyed include Azumanga and Lucky Star. The next genre I want to talk about is school drama romance. This is a pretty nose-nonsense genre, just like comedy, but it has a small caveat in anime that's a subgenre of drama called the school drama. If the story is mostly about everyday events that transpire in an epic of a story, it's a drama. But many times in anime, elementary school, junior high, high school, and college are all common settings for dramas to take place. So you may see dramas that I review prefaced with school drama. While also falling into the comedy category, The Melancholy of Suzumiya Haruhi fits in the drama genre. Action-adventure, a genre that people should be familiar with as well. When the anime's primary conflict is resolved through battle scenes, you've got yourself an action anime. And Naruto and Bleach fall squarely in this category, as well as many other anime. Another notable action title I'd like to mention right here would be Cowboy Bebop. Now let's move on to the next category. Horror, or emo anime. When suspense or disgust are the primary plot points that give the viewer a feeling of too terrible to look at but too powerful to resist, you've got yourself a horror. Now, I don't know if emo is the best way to describe it, or is the best word to even attribute to another subgenre of horror, but that's what I'm going to call it for now. There's a high probability that I may change the title of this particular subgenre of horror in the future, but I'm just going to call it emo for now. Emo is similar to horror in that it creates a feeling of dread or dejectedness, and is often characterized by an art style dominated by browns, grays, and blacks. Elfenlied and Claymore are good examples of the horror and emo genres. Now I'm going to get into the genres that primarily will be exclusive to anime. Supernatural. This can also be thought of as an overlapping of fantasy and science fiction because it encompasses modern settings in which people have unexplained superpowers or in which gods take a primary role in driving the plot elements. Mushishi is a very artfully done anime that does a good job of characterizing the supernatural genre. The next genre I want to talk about is Magic Girl. This genre is separated from supernatural in that the main characters are typically heroines that undergo transformation sequences while putting on their battle attire, which is typically designed to be effectively cute rather than obviously functional for combat. Other points of the genre usually include the usage of magical wands, the implementation of talking familiars by the heroines, a quest to collect a certain number of magical objects in order to save someone or to prevent a catastrophe. Non-anime viewers might be surprised how often this scenario comes up in anime. Sailor Moon and Mahou Shoujo Lyrical Nanoha are good mainstream examples of the magic girl genre. Next genre is going to be mecha. This genre is clearly defined by the abundance of large humanoid robots that drive the combat of the plot. That's simple. Notable titles include Gundam and Evangelion. Next is the chaos genre. This genre typically revolves around an often incoherent or simply nonsensical plot that feels schizophrenic at times. The disorganization leaves the viewer to often fill in many of the missing plot holes for himself or is resolved more consistently by the anime at a later time. If you find yourself unable to easily explain the plot of an anime to others, it probably falls in the chaos genre. Furikuri, or sometimes called FLCL, is a good example of the chaos genre of anime. Next is slice of life. Contrary to chaos genre, in which the plot is incoherent, slice of life anime typically have no plot and revolve around simply following the main character or characters as they go about their daily lives with little or no conflicts to resolve. Such anime are often characterized by grand art styles that are intended to immerse the viewer in the world of the anime. Most anime of this genre don't reach mainstream popularity, and it takes particular niche taste to enjoy this kind of anime. Haibane Renmei and Kino's Journey are good examples of slice of life anime. Moe. The moe genre is dominated by cute themes that are intended to simply give the viewer a warm, fuzzy feeling or to enamor the characters to the audience. For those unfamiliar with Japan, cute is actually a marketable attribute for nearly all products. Many companies design cute mascots to help endear their products to their customers. Hello Kitty and Pikachu from Pokemon are a fine example of Japan's love of cute being applied in an American setting. Notable moe anime include K-On! And Lucky Star. The final genre I want to discuss at length is the ecchi genre. This is a genre that I often feel gets misunderstood by many Americans. The word ecchi is difficult to define precisely in English, but can typically be translated as lecherous. Ecchi anime contain overt references to sexual situations and may include depictions of female characters in revealing clothes, but never fully nude. Ecchi anime sometimes get trapped in a pitfall of low expectations when their sexual situations override the intentions of the plot, and the whole show turns into one big blob of almost soft porn. That being said, some ecchi anime transcend this stereotype, typically ones that bring in strong elements of other genres such as drama, action, and romance. Many anime do contain a few ecchi scenes, but when these moments are used appropriately, the plot is enhanced rather than detracted. A good example of this is in a romance anime, when a male hero accidentally walks in on a female heroine he likes, who happens to be changing clothes or bathing. And I'm sure that you can see a climactic turning point that may result from such an encounter. High School of the Dead is a recent title that shows how the ecchi genre can make mainstream media. Now on to the rating system I'm going to be using. Each aspect of my rating system is going to be worth 4 points, with a possible 0 points to be awarded for a complete failure in each aspect. I'm going to be looking at 5 different aspects of each anime, resulting in a possible perfect score of 20 points. I'll then follow the rating breakdown with a summary. Aspect 1. Art design. In other words, this is my personal opinion of how well the anime was drawn or stylized. Most often I'm judging on 2 points for art design. A. Originality and willingness to deviate from norms while still remaining true to the anime drawing style, and B. How well the art design fits with the anime's tone. Aspect 2. Music. How well was the music composed, and just as with art design, does the music fit well with the anime's tone? Aspect 3. Character design. Can I relate to the characters and their conflicts? Do they develop and grow as the story progresses? Aspect 4. Setting design. How does the setting fit with the other aspects? This may not be as important a factor for anime that are set in worlds similar to our own, but how the setting fits with other aspects can make it an important factor that I feel shouldn't be overlooked. Aspect 5. Plot development. How did the story progress? Was it rushed? Did it drag on forever and make me lose interest? Pacing is the name of the game in getting a good rating in plot development. I'd probably say it's the most important aspect. And finally, the summary. My overall final words on an anime and the breakdown of points awarded into a percentage value. I hope you found this breakdown of my rating system useful, as I'll be referencing it many times in future videos. Be sure to check back again. Thanks for watching, and remember, never let life get in the way of anime.